Cthulhu Elon. You're not Cthulhu Elon, it's not one word.
No one makes a fool out of fool.
Get in there, you big Oreo! I don't care what you smell!
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Trash Compactor podcast. We've been away for a while, but just like Han and Chewie, I'm sure the sounds of our voices will bring back all those wonderful feelings and then start you welling up a little bit. I'm your host, Rob Smart, otherwise known, according to my Star Wars name, as Smarrow Vibri. And joining me in the Trash Compactor today are Oliver G. Thomas, a.k.a.
Fool Elon.
Fool Elon. Excellent, wonderful. Welcome, Fool Elon. Nice to have you here. I think maybe I'll explain it in a minute. Okay, and also joining me is Mr. Jamie Field, aka
Feeja Brister.
Brilliant.
Gravy.
Jamie's really getting into character, really buying into this situation.
Ready to
aren't you?
kick ass.
You're a robot, right?
Yes.
We're also joined by Mr. Tristan Whitehead, otherwise known as
Witter Sivate.
Nice, very good, very in character. I felt very Daniel Day-Lewis coming from you then. Have you been kind of doing some practicing at home, Tris, leading up to this? And of course, we also have our resident celebrity, Mr. Christian Wildgoose, but we no longer refer to him as that. From now on, all of his comics are going to be signed.
Vich Silly. Hello.
Hello, Veet, and welcome.
Hi.
Welcome, Master
Is that a
Veet.
Norwegian
Hi.
Ewok or what?
Yeah, it does sound like a Norwegian eagle.
It's good to be here. How much for the droid?
They're not for sale.
And we're back. So, okay, first section then, and I think, to be perfectly honest, guys, only one place to start. There's been a certain new trailer come out.
Woo! I don't know what
What's
that is.
It's Batman vs Superman. Hey! I've done that joke again. Never gets old. Never gets old. Obviously, it's the second trailer for The Force Awakens.
What? Is there a new film?
Is there a new film?
Yeah.
No, it's just for the comic. There's like a new comic, and they do one of those motion trailers. It was alright. So anyway, we all seem to have different. I thought it was a little bit different to when the first one came out. Because when the first one came out, everyone knew it was coming out on that day, so there was a lot of like, build up to it. I was watching when the first trailer came out. I was watching a live stream on. Well, sorry, it wasn't a live stream. It was like a live blog. It was being updated on the Guardian website. Like, it was basically some guy going, "Trailer's not up. Trailer's not up. There's a fake trailer. Oh, the trailer's up," and that was it. Like, there was the whole thing. But also, I think it was the first, of anything of this film that we've seen. Whereas this one, it was a little bit odd. Like, I knew that the stream was going on. I'd read a couple of things online saying that it's expected to come out because it was going to be attached to Avengers 2, which is out next week. And so, 20-something. And so it seemed like it would be a sensible place to premiere the trailer. Abrams is doing an on-stage discussion thing, and so I thought, I'll watch the thing. But I was at work and I was on my way home, and I put it on in the car, attached to the car stereo, listening to J.J. Abrams talk about, it's such a wonderful job, there's so much responsibility and all that kind of stuff. But it was quite fun listening to it on the way home. How did you guys end up actually watching it? Because I saw it on my phone. Actually, no, I got home, put it on the PS4 to watch the end of the live stream, and then witness the glory in full screen, all of 24 inches. But
Damn you!
How did you manage it then, Trish?
I saw it when I was in Chiquitos on a dinner date, and I was trying to tell Chiquitos to
shut
the hell up when it was loading.
Maybe you could have
Shut up! The trailer's on.
Maybe you could have got Chiquitos to put it on one of their
I could
internal
have
screens.
I don't know. I'd already waited 45 minutes for my Peroni. Give me anything else.
So it was gasping.
Chris, how did you manage it?
Well, I didn't know it was coming on until you texted me like a madman. And then as soon as you got home, you were like, on the front door. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? And I was like, I've only just read your text message. He's like, get upstairs now, watch it. And he literally grabbed me by the back of the neck, threw me up the stairs, and then put me in front of him.
That's pretty accurate. That is basically what happened. But at no point, I think, did you remotely begrudge me doing that.
No, I was like, take me.
Take me
Rob. Take me to the trailer.
Ollie, what about you?
I didn't see it until about 2 in the morning when I got home from London from waiting for a train for unknown reasons, which I won't divulge because human life was lost. But
sorry, because
Go.
so I watched it live, but
I didn't watch it live.
it must have been strange knowing that the trailer was out there.
Oh, I
and
knew
you
it was
couldn't
out there,
watch
but I was busy.
Because Jamie, you didn't watch it until.
No, my Star Wars alarm, aka you, kept on going off every 2 seconds. Bidding, bidding, bidding. What now, Rob? Yeah. So yeah, that's how I found out that it was on. But yeah, I was at the gym with a meerkat. Funnily enough.
Oh, let's not get into
Yeah,
the
we won't
bloody
get into
meerkat
it.
at the gym story. That's a whole other.
But that is
Oh,
for all the listeners. That is a true story. I was at the gym
That is a
Bench
true
pressing.
boring story.
and there was a
He was bench
meerkat.
pressing a meerkat.
Yeah.
Why is there a meerkat?
Oh, because there's
I
a
guess
guy.
we're getting into it.
Well, he owns his own zoo, and he's got a skunk as well.
So
and the
much for the
meerkat
Star
lives
Wars
with his
discussion.
skunk because it was rejected by the other meerkats. So he brought it into the gym just to show everybody.
So it could work
Right.
out.
Anyway, can the meerkat get me insurance on my lightsaber?
Yes.
So
Very nice.
yeah, so that's how I knew about it. So I couldn't watch it either, and it was almost like, I don't know, somebody had told me, oh, tomorrow's Christmas Day,
Yeah.
Or this afternoon's Christmas Day, and I was like, really? So I was really excited.
Yeah, it must have been torture.
Yeah.
Like, I was kind of following reactions on Twitter and stuff like
And
that.
I didn't want to watch it on my poxy phone. I had to go home and watch it on.
Yeah, no, same.
I watched the first one on my
a
phone.
HD, nice telly, and
Yeah, I
get
think
the full impact of it.
like I said, I was happy that I did manage to get home in time and watch it on the big screen. And I sat next to my wife, who was kind of excited about it. She's a Star Wars fan, but she's not like a super Star Wars fan. And I was like shaking, and then afterwards I was in tears, and she was looking at me like, "The fuck is wrong with you?" I think she saw a whole other side to me because she wasn't with me when I watched the first one, and yeah.
See, I'm a
It's
fan.
an emotional.
But
moment.
Jesus, I don't cry over it.
How did you not cry at the end? Did anyone
'Cause
else
we're
get
men.
emotional?
I
I
didn't
got
cry,
wound up.
but
I got wound up.
I had ice up my spine. Like, up.
Did you not?
Like a
Seriously,
chill.
that
Yeah.
final moment, that moment with.
I just went.
Yeah, I was great, but I wasn't
Yeah.
like.
I lost my shit, but I didn't cry.
Yeah.
I didn't care about the end
Yeah.
bit. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't care
Yeah,
about that.
I wasn't
Best
like.
bit for me
I'm-
was where you see the stormtrooper get blown up in the air, and it's an actual person, it's an actual stuntman, not a poxy rubber CGI thing. So, and I just got goosebumps then. I was like, whoa, this is insane.
But then you guys don't tend to cry at a lot of stuff. You actually do, Chris, don't you? You
I do
cry at
now.
stuff.
Now I'm an older man. For some reason.
Oh, I'm an old
Now he's going
man
through the menopause.
filled with
I don't know
regret.
what it is. I don't
Yeah.
know what it is. I just cry a lot. Like I cried at Matilda 3 times.
Yeah. I cry pathetic. I cry at
I don't know what
adverts.
it
I'm the worst.
I cry all the time.
Do
yeah.
you have PPI? Oh, no.
I don't even know what PPI is.
Well, the trailer itself, I mean, it went up. It was difficult because it was on the live stream, and then I was texting you guys saying the trailer's up, and then Tris in particular, was like,
Link,
send me a link,
link,
send me a
link,
link, and I couldn't find one because it had just been broadcast live, and I was like, I don't know what to do, and it wasn't until I went on Facebook to register my reaction throughout the world, as you do nowadays. You have to validate every opinion that you have by putting it online in some fashion. And the Star Wars kind of Facebook group had uploaded it instantly. So I thought we'd watch it now. We've got we're in a living room. We have a nice TV, nice setup by the way, Chris.
I was
Nice
going to say, it's
little,
not a normal...
irritating audio bar, which I can always hear in my fucking house downstairs every bloody day. But for now, let's
Whatever,
hope it's
man.
not-
Whatever. When you first moved in, I was texting you to turn it down.
Exactly, and do you know what? Since then, I haven't used it. Courtesy, Chris. That's what that is. Courtesy, my
Fuck your
friend.
courtesy, mate.
Right, okay, let's press play. Let's press play and watch this thing in all its glory.
Look, the logo.
Look, the Lucasfilm logo.
I'm not really doing that. We're like...
See,
It's a sound.
I think it's interesting that...
Buffer!
I think it's interesting that the thing opens with the thing. Chris, do you want to pause it a sec? Because that shot, it opens on the desert, which is very similar to the first one. And it then pans across to look at that Star Destroyer in the distance there. I just think it's amazing. Like, it's like a mountain.
Yeah, that sound
I was like,
is just fucking cool.
I was like, what is that? It's a Star Destroyer.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment just as it pans across and you kind of realise it.
I mean, obviously, it looks like it's been there for quite some time. Like, it's not like from the from the first trailer, where obviously we see the main guy. I can't remember what his name is. Someone's going to shout at me because I'm not remembering his name.
I don't know his name.
He's the guy from Attack the Block, and he kind of like stands up in the middle
John
of the desert.
Boyega, yeah.
It kind of like when I first saw this, I thought like, is that the same Star Destroyer that you see later in the trailer, or did he escape pod onto the planet? Because it's not Tatooine, is it? It's a different planet.
Yeah, so in the live stream beforehand, they said that actually it's not Tatooine, even though all the stuff that we've seen of it so far suggests it's quite similar. It's a new planet called Jakku. Jamie?
Can I just ask a question? Coming from somebody that doesn't know a lot about Star Wars, but I love it.
We're scrutinizing you now.
Yeah. This Star Destroyer that we see at the beginning here.
Yeah.
In the other films, where Darth Vader cuts Luke's hand off and he loses the lightsaber, is that on a Star Destroyer?
No.
It's on Cloud City.
Yeah, it's on Bespin, which is a gas planet, and Bespin is the kind of metallic city that orbits. Well, it doesn't orbit, does it? It's up in the clouds.
It's a mining station, essentially.
Okay, because
it's a gas giant. So I mean, so a lot of the rumours are it involves the lightsaber, and as you go through the trailer, you see that same lightsaber.
Yeah,
lightsaber.
This was my theory that because the main female lead character, she's basically a scavenger.
Yeah.
In this sort of graveyard of
ships and stuff.
I thought that she would find the lightsaber like that.
That's interesting.
And then I thought that would be the way that it's you sort of get to know these characters and the story develops and things like that.
The lightsaber with a gnarly boned hand next to it.
Yeah. Oh my god, it's really attached onto that. I don't know if anyone's actually looked at any of the concept art at the concept art for any of the characters. Like the main character, again, for the life of me, someone's going to slap me for not knowing his name. Jamie can slap me. Ah, fuck! The guy from Attack the Block twice, man. There's concept art of his costume, but he has Luke's lightsaber in a holder on the jacket.
Yeah, he does.
There's like rumours circulating that he's because
Finn.
Finn, that's the character.
Is that the black guy?
That's the black guy.
Is he a Jedi?
John Boyega.
Well, that's the thing. The voiceover says my father had this power, my sister, I had this power, you have this power too. And because of the concept art of him with the lightsaber, a lot of fans are speculating that he might be a Jedi. I mean, it's not confirmed, obviously, and we won't know until we see the film. But
yeah, I think there was some earlier concept art which was leaked, which showed Rey. Is that her name? Rey?
Yeah. Rey.
There's some concept art where she's holding a lightsaber, but it's certainly not part of her main costume design. Whereas at the celebration thing, a lot of people have gone around and taken pictures of, because they actually had the costumes on display, and they he's actually got a little hilt for it. But I don't think. I mean, obviously you see him in a stormtrooper outfit, and in this you see him as a stormtrooper.
So you don't necessarily need to be a Jedi to use the lightsaber anyway.
Yeah, good point. Very good point. I mean, so as it carries on, I mean, what does it go to next?
It goes to
Face the Black. Of course. There's the
shot.
So there's the Darth Vader's.
So who has this? Because there's concept art of a Sith holding it.
It's the dude with the new crossbar saber.
Because you would have thought that would have been blown to bits in the Death Star.
Well, it wasn't, was it? It was burned.
He's burned in a funeral pyre, isn't he?
Oh actually.
Which is very interesting. I think the
there it is.
So there's a handing over of Anakin's lightsaber, which seems fully intact, which is particularly interesting since he lost it on a cloud.
It could be another lightsaber.
No, apparently it is.
It could be. Yeah, I thought perhaps it might be like he's made a similar one, almost as a kind of ode to his father.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that you see a shot of him. I'm presuming it's Luke in the in like a cave, and he puts his hand on R2.
It kind of looks like Mustafar, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it will be at all.
No,
I
it
think
might
it's just
not
got some like glowy orange bits.
Or it might be a funeral pyre again.
Oh, it could be.
It's a fire.
It seems like, I guess, I took it as being a fire in a cave, like he's around a campfire.
I mean, we're assuming this is obviously Luke, because he obviously says, but I have this power. When he puts his hand on R2-D2, it's the same arm that he has the robotic arm on, but obviously the flesh is gone now. Yeah,
and it seems like the timing of the voiceover is quite deliberate. He says, I have it, and then it cuts to the shot of someone putting a hand on R2. My sister has it. Cuts to a shot of someone passing the lightsaber to one female passing the lightsaber to another female, and then you have that power too.
But that's just
and then that Face to Black, and then it comes in and cuts to a bunch of other stuff.
Some action scenes.
Yeah, and you start seeing the kind of new stormtroopers, and
which look very cool.
which do look very cool. I really like the fact that they've bothered redesigning them, but really subtly.
It also kind of goes to we all watched the Clone Wars TV series here, didn't we?
Yeah.
Maybe not Jamie. But in that series, they had like specialized troops, like flame troops, covert troops, stuff like that. In the one where all the stormtroopers turn around, they had obviously the flame troopers, which were the concept art at the celebration and stuff like that. So it's kind of like following that kind of.
Yeah, so it's in the idea that there are specifically different types of stormtrooper,
and bringing in this goddamn chrome trooper.
Yeah,
looks amazing, badass. It's got a cape as well.
Why
and
is
apparently that's a female.
It's going to be this.
What are your theories about why? Like why is there a chrome trooper? Right, okay, so the main.
I reckon it's like one of the ARC troopers.
What do the ARC troopers do?
They're like the special forces, like you know the ones that Django trained.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Boba Fett of this series, this trilogy.
You reckon it's someone who's been tasked with hunting someone down?
Yeah.
Well, like maybe the heads of the rebellion. Maybe.
So I think, from what I understand, I think it's been confirmed that the Chrome Trooper's name is Captain Faro.
That's cool.
Something like that. Phara or Captain Faro.
And it's a woman.
Oh, they're not clones anymore, are they?
I don't
We
think
don't
so.
know.
It certainly
we have
doesn't
no
seem
idea.
like it, just from what we've seen in terms of John Boyega. I mean, at the panel beforehand, he confirmed that he is a stormtrooper. He didn't say it, but like he sort of
defecting
nodded.
stormtrooper.
Yeah,
So-
it seems to be he's a defecting stormtrooper.
I think from what we can piece together, from what we've seen so far, he seems to have crash landed on a desert planet. There's a bit in.
I say escaped to. I reckon he's.
Yeah, there's a bit in this trailer where he takes off his helmet and looks pretty distraught. And his helmet's kind of covered in bloody fingerprints and stuff. And again, there seems to be sort of fire around him. And then there's a shot of Kylo Ren, the guy with the awesome crossblade lightsaber, and the cool mask, which we've now seen as well, which looks very funky.
Very similar as well to Darth Revan from Knights of the Republic.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting.
But because they've eradicated the expanded universe, does that mean that this Darth Revan now doesn't exist?
Technically doesn't exist,
Yeah.
even though he's in Revenge of the Sith as a statue of him.
Yeah, I just think it's a nice little, like the mask itself of Darth Revan is a good design.
It's a nice little nod back to
Yeah,
it.
It's really layered, isn't it? It's got lots of layers of tech to it and
It's
stuff.
very, very nice. That cross-blade lightsaber, though, man, that's still the best thing I've ever seen.
And I think this woman she's amazing. She
Which
just
woman?
The main
Ray.
female lead. Yeah.
Oh, Ray, yeah.
I think she's brilliant.
I tell you one thing I really liked about it. I was talking. We paused it, by the way, on our favourite moment in the trailer, which we'll get to in a bit. But I was talking to some of the kids in school yesterday about the thing with Ray and how kind of cool a character she seems, and we were looking at the costume, and I love how that they haven't sexed up the costume in any way.
Totally.
And I just really love as well that, you know, the three main characters are a black guy, a Latino dude, and a white girl who hasn't been sexed up in any way. I think that's. It sounds.
Well, you've got to
I'm
have your
seeing
cultural
the same.
diversity, haven't you?
I
these days?
genuinely think that's really quite a progressive thing
Yeah, I
to
think-
have the biggest film in the world and not have a, you know,
Just a white guy.
good-looking white dude as the main character.
I think
honestly think
we're
that's
really in a
amazing.
new era of, like, it sounds really corny, but a new era of cinema again, where it's going back to that. You know, I'm going to harp on about the practical effects because I think it's amazing. But even these strong female leads, like is it Kathleen Kennedy?
Kathleen Kennedy's the
she-
producer in charge of Star Wars.
She mentioned that within these new series of films, like even the standalone ones, we're going to be introduced to a lot of strong female characters.
Yeah, because the first spin-off is entitled
It's
Rogue One.
Yeah, Rogue One.
Rogue One, which is being directed by
The guy
what's
who
his
did
name?
Monsters?
Guy did Looper.
Oh, I don't
Oh
know.
no,
And
he's
Godzilla.
doing episode 8, isn't he?
Yeah,
It's Gareth Edwards, guy who did Godzilla Monsters. Yeah, you're quite right.
Chrome Trooper.
And I believe Felicity. Is it Felicity Jones? Who's in Theory of Everything?
Yeah.
Is kind
Yeah,
of
she's-
rumoured to be the lead in. No, or she has been confirmed for it. So in Rogue One.
But I
So-
think it's really exciting that you're seeing this whole and we get to see all these new characters as well. They're not. But I hope in a way that they're not just going to rehash.
The Expanded Universe?
No, the old films. I'm really glad that the old characters are in it, but I think it's time for a new era.
Absolutely.
Because it's like watching Queen and Freddie Mercury. it's like watching them rehash all their old songs again.
Yeah, without
like-
him,
yeah,
it's very. It's not right, is it?
You get sick and tired of just hearing the same, and just reusing the same thing. So I'm really excited that we get to a new generation.
I think a
characters.
female villain will be really cool. If that shiny stormtrooper is a
Well,
female villain, and she's like a badass one who's like really ruthless. and
Yeah.
tough.
So if that's a female stormtrooper, and it is Gwendolyn Christie, that is perfect fucking casting right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect. You cast Brienne of Tarth as a
Oh
really
yeah,
badass.
she's.
Oh man, that'd be absolutely incredible.
But when they first cast, sorry, who's the girl from 12 Years a Slave?
Lupita Nyong'o.
Yeah, when they first cast her, I thought she's going to be the villain.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yeah, I thought, but I thought she'd make a brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant villain.
she's an incredible. And to be honest, like we still haven't seen really. We haven't seen Adam Driver, who is also a great actor. We haven't seen Donald Gleeson, who is also in it. We haven't seen Andy Serkis. We've heard Andy Serkis' voice, but whether that is him, whether that's the voice of Kylo Ren, the guy with the crossblade lightsaber, or whether that's someone else's voice.
No,
We haven't seen, what's his name? The guy from The Exorcist.
don't.
That guy who's really awesome, but whose name we've forgotten.
Max von Sydow.
Yes, Max von Sydow is
he in
also
this?
in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all these people who've yet
He's
to be
not- we don't
revealed,
know,
and
no.
we've
We
absolutely
think
no
he's
idea.
like a Sith or
We've
something.
paused it, by the way, on a moment where there seems to be a TIE fighter blowing up other TIE fighters. Look at how awesome that TIE fighter
a real
is.
TIE fighter. It's hanging by wires. It's not. It's not a piece of crap digital.
It's
thing.
not. It's flying, damn it! It's flying.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. It's really flying. But it's real. Like you could go and touch it if you wanted to.
The
Get your
design of
hand
it
blown off.
looks slightly different to a standard one as well, doesn't it? So I think it's. I mean, that particular moment. I mean, the point that we paused it on was the stormtrooper being blown up in the air.
Brilliant.
It looks like
A rag doll.
Imagine being that guy.
The
That'd
woman's
be
scream
amazing.
is going to be
But
there.
it does seem that in that scene, like obviously there is the scene with Kylo Ren with some stormtroopers, and there's that bit with the TIE fighter shooting other stormtroopers. It seems like the Empire has been split in half. Like there's obviously those who've probably pause on it again, who've sided with obviously the Sith, and then those who have maybe sided with the rebellion,
Oh, that's interesting.
like to create a new government.
So, one thing that was confirmed after the trailer was released is that the Empire is no longer called the Empire. It's called the First Order.
Not the space Nazis. Then.
No, although I do love the shot where they're very clearly just space Nazis. And that's something that I really love as well. The prequels, I really like them, but they don't have like a solid, real, nasty kind of...
Trade Federation.
Exactly,
That's
they're
boring,
fucking... They're people who blockaded a planet because they didn't get enough taxes. Like, there's only
No,
so evil they can
it's
be, whereas that shot is very clearly...
Who
Who do you
is
reckon they're
that?
the bad?
Yeah,
No.
who's the man
That's said to be
in the Hitler
Gleeson.
position? Donald Gleeson?
Yeah, that's said to be him.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Also, they're on a snow planet. I've just realised, so that
Oh yeah.
makes you wonder where that
I
is.
do not notice that before.
No, I don't know.
Because that was why I mentioned before we started recording, you also see a snow planet. Because obviously Jakku looks very similar to Tatooine. This planet looks very similar to Hoth. Whether it is, we don't know. And I love the banner as well. It seems to have changed the quite subtly, but has changed the Imperial symbol to this
What
new
are they turning
First
around
Order
to as
symbol.
well?
It may just be the end of the rally.
Or the end of the film.
And
I
they all
imagine
kind of...
there's something massive there, or I don't know.
Rancor! Yeah, I mean, I really like the...
I can see what you mean.
as you go through the trailer,
Watch it.
it kind of...
It
It
does.
builds really nicely, and I think it's got some nice little character moments as well.
The
Like
score.
BB-88, the little ball droid peering out from the corner, or stuff like that. And then you see the amazing shot of the Falcon flying through the remnants of a destroyed Star Destroyer.
Is that what that is? A Star Destroyer?
Yeah.
I couldn't work out
That-
what it
that's
was.
that bit,
Because
yeah.
it looked so big, and I couldn't tell.
Because obviously that girl, she's the scavenger, isn't she? So she's helped herself and probably gone all through that.
Yeah, really interesting. And then obviously it then Face to Black. Face to Black, and then there's the moment which made me well up, which is
Chewie's been on the L'Oreal.
which
He's
which
worth
is the
it.
moment where
Silky Chewy.
where Silky
Benjamin
Chewie and old
Yeah, he
Indiana
does,
Jones
yeah.
show up at the end. Which I mean, it's almost like a cheap shot. It's almost like this is guaranteed to get people loving this
Yeah,
trailer
that's probably
because
what
it's
they
got them in it. But you know what? Fuck it, it worked. It's
Yeah.
absolutely incredible
It
seeing
had to
them.
have them in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Do you know what I think also?
service, isn't it?
I think it's the line.
Yeah,
I think it's
we're
the
home.
line.
And
What?
does that
Chewie,
look like the
um,
Millennium
yeah.
Falcon?
That
is-
Oh yeah,
that
that's
is-
a Millennium
that
Falcon.
is-
That
yeah.
is- it
I
has
was
to
going
be.
to say actually, I don't think it would be half as good a shot if you couldn't tell from the background.
It
That's the
makes-
problem.
It makes you wonder what the hell they're saying we're home to.
Yeah, I've been wondering that. What have they come out?
Because they've got their guns up, and what the hell have they got their guns up at if they're on their own ship?
Yeah, and where have they been as well?
I have a theory.
Oh, let's hear it.
So the fact that Chewie has his crossbow thing, bowcaster, up and ready, I think the Falcon gets captured at near the start
Or
while they're
sometime
still
in
on Jakku.
between.
So you see that fight with the TIE fighters. I think the Falcon might lose that fight, and then I think they've maybe been captured, and they in terms of Chewie and Han have been captured, and I think perhaps the new 3 stars rescue them, and then they're fighting their way back on to the Falcon. But I think they haven't been on the Falcon for a while. I think
Yeah.
the Falcon's piloted by someone else.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that line wouldn't have as much resonance. I think they haven't flown the Falcon for a long time. So them coming in and saying we're home is, we're back in our
Yeah,
rightful
that's-
place
Well,
kind of moment.
What if they'd got rid of it sometime
Hmm.
in between the films and we're
Lost
retired,
it-
we don't
lost
want
it
it
on
anymore.
a bet to
Have
the
it.
Calrissian again.
I was going to say maybe he never gave it back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't come back.
Quite possibly.
I'm Billy D. I'm so cute.
I hope he's in. I really hope he's in it at some point. Like maybe not in this film, but the next one. But he's so old now, Billy D.
Billy
Williams.
D.
To be fair, they're all
He's
fairly
not
old.
doing too well health-wise.
I know.
Is he not?
No.
Well, when Justin E. Collins did getting Star Wars back together,
Yeah.
it was,
A few
he had
years
like
back.
some sort of cancer or something.
Oh, I really have
So I don't think he's dead, but
No,
No,
I
he's
think
certainly not
he's
because he still does voices on Star
He
Wars
was
a lot
in,
of the time,
Rebels.
isn't he? Yeah, and he's just been in Star Wars Rebels as well, which is particularly interesting.
Mhm.
Right, so that wraps up the trailer, and there was another trailer for something Star Wars related that came
Oh,
out.
yeah, what was Battlefront?
Yeah, it was Battlefront, but we'll come to that in a section in a bit because we'll wrap up this one here, and we'll move on to the next one.
Listen to them. They're dying, R2. Curse my metal body. I wasn't fast enough. It's all my fault. My poor master. We're all right.
Right, next section then. So our next section, we are going to talk about some of the other, probably less interesting.
There are no other films. There's only.
do
Star
we
Wars.
have to?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
This
does
is where
feel-
everybody switches off now.
There is no films, only Zoo.
It does feel a little bit like you were just saying, Tris, like everyone else should just give up and go home. And I think it was poor timing as well for the other big trailer which came out this weekend, which was Batman versus Superman. Superman versus Batman,
Which
or
didn't
whatever
show a
fucking way around it was. What did you guys think of it?
Quite disappointed. Well,
I thought it was
no,
fake.
It's too early to tell, but I was quite disappointed purely because of this other amazing trailer. But Batman does look badass.
I quite liked it. I was quite excited for it. Not like madly excited, but I was like, I like the idea that they come across with the trailer of what's going to be in the film is that Superman's a bad guy.
Yeah, they kind of explain
after
it.
the first film, because everyone was like, "Oh, the destruction of the first film was just so un-Superman." And like, my theory is, I won't spend too long on it, but that he just couldn't control himself or control any of the villains. So, and he's been blamed, but also like idolized for it. So,
Yeah, I mean, my thing with Man of Steel was that I mean, I'm one of the 4 people in the world who really, really like Superman Returns. And to me, it's
You're
Superman,
overdoing it a bit there.
You are an island of one.
well, Superman Returns to me is a great Superman sequel. It's a sequel to Superman 2, and it's him. He came in for some criticism really for just being, it's just basically being Christopher Reeve, and yeah, that's fine. Because Christopher Reeve was the absolute perfect Superman. I mean, I'm probably out of all the superheroes, Superman and Batman are my 2 favourites, and so I'm a big fan of the original Superman movies. I even like Superman 3, which is pretty shit. No one likes Superman 4, but Superman 3 is pretty decent. But Superman Returns I think is amazing, but Superman Returns has that sense of like hope and him as a character, and it just, for me, it really got who Superman was. And then Man of Steel comes along and he's angry and moody and love smashing stuff and
Because the haters gonna hate.
it's just not for me. I just honestly
What just happened?
I don't know.
We turned into a music video.
You've
I
been
just
rehearsing
moved
that.
That was quite.
We did.
Yeah, for me, Man of Steel, it was all right, but it's not my Superman. I don't like angry Superman. I like nice
He's not the
Superman.
Superman. you
He's
grew
not
up with.
Batman. He's not Batman, so he shouldn't be all moody and trying to find out who he is and struggling and all. Like, bollocks. Who cares? That's not what Superman's for. That's what Batman's for. Which in this movie, Batman seems to have got over that. It seems to be the one that putting the beat down on
Well, it's an
Superman.
older Batman, isn't it?
And it's called giving him a personality.
Giving her personality.
Superman.
Have
He
you
is.
watched the original Superman films? He's filled with personality, man.
No, he's not. He's filled with charisma.
That's the same thing.
Which is absolutely fine. I'm fine with having my Superman filled with charisma. The problem for me is that I think as a trailer, it felt more Man of Steel than the original Man of Steel trailer. Do you remember that? With the kind of very slow shots
Yeah, it
of
was where he was about to fly for the first time.
yeah, and it had the kind of cornfields of Kansas, and it was very slow and moving, and he's running around pretending to be a superhero and stuff. That felt really brilliantly Superman. I was so excited about that, and then Man of Steel kind of let me down a bit. So I think maybe that's why I'm not super hyped by the trailer.
But if you read the comics though, Superman's pretty gritty these days though.
Yeah, that's why I don't need the
It's very
Superman
1990s.
comics anymore.
I know, but like nobody. Well, I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like, not a lot of people want just like a kind of Boy Scout superhero these days. I don't think. I think that's quite 90s.
Yeah, you might be right. I think and I think in terms of movie audiences as well, they don't tend to respond too well to stuff that's too bright and cheerful. There needs to be a balance. So like Avengers and the Marvel stuff seems to get that balance really, really well. Whereas I think Man of Steel went a little bit too far down the trying to be Christopher Nolan's Batman kind of route.
serious.
And I don't think it kind of worked with just who he is. He's an alien, and everything's a little bit odd. And obviously he's got these superpowers which pretty much make him invincible. And then Zod was good, but he didn't have that charisma, Jamie, that Terrence Stamp had in Superman 2. So yeah, I think for me, I'm apprehensive about it. But as a trailer, I thought it was pretty good. Like what they actually showed.
Ben Affleck looks awesome as well. He looks good.
I love the shots of
No, he
Superman just hovering in the air. There's a few shots of him and his cape's just billowing and stuff. Like I'm not the biggest Superman fan, but like shots where he looks like really moody like that. And he's in the rain and there's obviously like bad stuff going on. Just flapping cape.
My favourite shot was the aerial shot of Batman on top of a skyscraper.
The standard Batman shot.
Yeah. He looks hulking. He looks absolutely massive, like the Frank Miller Batman. He looks hench.
Yeah, they seem to have translated the Frank Miller Batman design.
So I've done that really well. Yeah.
And I liked because you hear he talks, doesn't he? But
I don't
Yeah, but we were saying before, you think it's like him talking in his mech suit when he's about to show down.
So he sounds like a transformer.
yeah, and is it a line from the actual
I can't
comic?
remember.
Yeah, no.
The DUV line.
I think that's where they're just as they're about to fight.
Yeah, where he's plugged himself into a lamppost.
Gotta juice up.
Do you reckon he's going to plug himself into a lamppost?
Probably, he'll probably plug himself into some kind of mains.
That's pretty much all I remember of the end of that comic. But it's a good comic, and I think it is pretty daring of them to take the comic.
And
everyone loves that comic.
And don't forget, in this film we're going to see Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and Robin as well, because Robin has been cast for this film.
Oh, is he?
Oh, really?
I don't know.
I was going to ask whether they had a Robin.
It's going to be a woman, I think.
Yeah, he is in Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I don't know the name of the girl. She's in Hunger Games. Not Jennifer Lawrence.
Who's playing again?
The really moody one, the one with the axe.
Oh yes.
What's her name?
I can't remember.
She's in Stepmom as well, and she's in.
Stepmom.
And she's also in. What's the other
She's
terrible
in,
film with all
Donnie
those little
Darko.
girls?
She's a girlfriend in Donnie Darko.
You sure?
Oh,
Yeah.
she?
And what's the film by? Is it the same director with all those girls? And they're in sort of like that weird fantasy place.
I watch a few films
what
like that
is
online.
it?
So that's-
Sucker Punch.
Yeah.
That
She's
piece of
the
mess. Yeah.
medic in it.
Yeah. So it's that. I think
Oh,
she's.
that's
I think
interesting.
she's going to be Robin. She's cast in the film, but not.
I forgot that they had Aquaman and Wonder Woman. That's
What
gonna
the hell is it
it's
even
going to
gonna
be a
be about, though?
full movie, considering they're introducing 1, 2, 3, 4 heroes that they haven't even explained yet.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And Cyborg as well. He's in it.
Oh yeah.
What the
Fucking
hell is
hell.
it even going to be about?
Well, it's called Dawn of Justice, so like
Yeah.
there's a big clue that it's going to be the start of the Justice League series.
Yeah, I think
But
it'll
why
say-
are Batman and Superman fighting? What is the point?
Because of what Superman did in the first.
So Batman
one.
thinks he can just go, oh, I'm going to bring you in,
Go
motherfucker.
to a
Pretty
neighbouring
much.
city.
But how is he ever going to do that, ever?
Because he's got a big mech suit.
But
Yeah.
can't
But he
Superman
knows
just like
he-
just got that?
Well, of course you could, but that's
But-
not. Who's
but
But in
that's-
the comic, he just does, isn't it? Hasn't it got? No, he hasn't got a kryptonite thing. I'm thinking of
He
a
do,
big.
I think he
Lex
does
Luthor.
use
Yeah,
kryptonite against
to make him.
So neither of them kill people, so...
Well, that's eventually what they'll come to. In the
I
end,
don't
it'll be
think
like
he,
little.
in the comic he doesn't actually kill him though. I think he just weakens him to the point where he just flings him back out into space, and then he's just like the only reason why he comes back in the book is because he gets warmed up by the sun.
He's like a
Gets
corpse.
Because
warmed up.
he shrivels him up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And like beats him so much that
Well,
he
that
just
was
looks
in-
like a skeleton.
in the
and then
comic
floats
Well, Batman does that to Superman.
Yeah, yeah.
Batman beats his ass.
No.
Yeah, Batman really does
Then he
lay
has a
the
heart
snap
attack.
down on.
It's going to be like
on
Clash of the
Superman.
Titans. It's really-
I think it'll be particularly interesting. It's not out until 2016, is it?
Yeah.
It's literally a year from now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, stuff
So we've
that's
got
out this year.
whole year.
Because there was another. You guys were saying that you haven't seen it, but the new Terminator trailer. Weird. Have you seen this?
No,
Chris?
I haven't seen it.
Am I the only one who's seen the new Terminator?
I've
trailer?
I've heard that John
I was going to say,
Connor-
have you heard the insane fucking plot twist that, they've
Well,
got-
no,
that they literally reveal in that trailer?
What,
Let's
John
hear it.
Connor's a Terminator?
John Connor's a Terminator.
No, but originally
What? Yeah.
that was originally the Terminator Salvation ending. Was originally that John Connor gets killed, and
Yeah.
then what's his name?
Channing Tatum.
Kyle Reese.
Not Kyle Reese.
The robot from
The robot
Salvation.
from what's his name? The guy from
Sam
Wrath of the
Worthington.
Titans. Sam Worthington's character was supposed to then take over being John Connor, and it
Right.
was supposed to be originally John Connor was constantly in a submarine and commanding people from outside that. So because they knew the power of John Connor being John Connor, the
Yeah.
Resistance leader, and then he was going to get killed, but nobody knew who
What he looked like.
the main Resistance didn't know what he looked like. So Sam Worthington's character was supposed to then take on being John Connor.
Oh, that's interesting. Well, in the trailer, there's a T1000 that seems to be pursuing them. There's a T800 who Sarah Connor is with,
The
and
old
I
man.
think from there's been like some kind of script stuff floating around on the internet. She calls him Pops, like she sort of pretended that he's her dad.
Yeah.
Hence why he's aged, because the skin on top of the exoskeleton apparently ages like normal skin does. So that's how they've explained that away. But I was
It's
impressed
to be
that.
living, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it sort of makes sense. It makes as much sense as the rest of the fucking Terminator universe does. It's an absolute
Perfect
bloody
sense then.
timeline of it is an absolute fucking mess by now. Like,
Well,
what's,
it is
what's
now.
official, what's not, who's alive, who's dead, what Terminator has been sent back to what time? Are there different timelines, or does it change the future each time? Like, it's an absolute mess, that timeline. I think. And
You'd probably say that with Star Wars if you still considered the expanded universe.
but
Yeah, but they've
there you
categorically
go.
said no.
yeah.
I know, but I'm
So
just saying if
that's
you
why
did
they got rid of
go-
it, because it
Yeah.
was an absolute fucking
Yeah.
mess. And it's something that Star Trek struggles with as well.
Mm.
In the
All the William Shatner books.
which was why I think, Abrams
reset it.
doing a whole. They haven't got rid of it, but they've got a new timeline, so it gives him a.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very strange, the whole John Connor being.
I quite
he
like
can like
that, though.
detach bits of himself and things. It's really
Oh, for
weird.
goodness
Well,
sake.
It's a very strange
at the end
trailer.
of Salvation, he's got the Terminator heart in him, isn't he? Because he's essentially
I
he gets
blanked
something
out
stabbed
most of
through him, which
Salvation.
practically kills him. And
Sake
then
my
Oh,
own
yeah, he
sense.
does
Sam
get-
Worthington sacrifices himself, so
Yeah.
he has a heart.
Film, man.
I can't
I
remember.
love that
saw it
film.
once in cinema.
You know
Oh,
this.
I
enjoyed
This
that
is going to
film.
be one of my bad film picks. I think you were all expecting me to pick this
Yeah.
for my bad film one, but like the film that no one likes but I like.
Yeah.
I didn't
I
dislike it. I've just
Yeah.
seen it once.
I can't
I
remember.
love it.
I
man.
liked it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed
yeah,
it.
Dreadful
yeah,
in
I
every
really love
possible
it.
respect.
I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
Well,
Can't
speaking
really
of
watch
things
that
that
again.
could be dreadful, I'm really worried about Jurassic World.
Yeah, same.
Was this just because of the clip you've seen?
Yeah, the clip is arse. Proper
The
arse.
trailer or the
No,
clip?
not-
There's a clip that they've released of Chris Pratt talking to
Dallas.
Bryce Dallas Howard, who is the woman who now runs the park, and he is literally a raptor whisperer.
Oh, for
That's
goodness
his
sake.
job. He's sort of trained raptors.
He makes
And
it sound
she's
very-
come to him in his like little shack that he lives in because she wants his help doing something in the park, and he's being all roguish and she's being all uptight, and there's absolutely no charisma, there's no sense of fun or joy or like, I don't know, I'm really not sure.
The dialogue is absolutely balls.
No, it's woeful. It is woeful.
It's
in that
I
class.
haven't seen it.
It's disgusting. It's like a teenager wrote it.
It is. It's really, and it's
My
it honestly
Jurassic Park
has
Bad
fan fic.
teenager.
a bad teenager.
Yeah.
It's my Jurassic
Not one
Park
of those,
fan fiction all
you
over
know,
again.
talented teenage screenwriters.
No,
but
it's
one of those
bad
hacks.
ones.
So you're going to judge the whole film off a couple
No,
of
no,
trailers?
no,
and
not
a
at all.
clip?
What I am, and I'm not judging it. I
It
think
sounds
I'm,
like you are.
just
though.
worried
I'm not.
about
I'm
it.
really worried about it because it's Jurassic Park. It's my favourite film of all time.
Are you going to kill yourself if it's bad?
Well, no.
But out of all the clips of say a 1.5 hour movie or plus, they decided to show 3 minutes of utter.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
the
not
most
necessarily the
boring
director picking that. That could be anyone who's
It's
like
like-
got some kind of say over the film.
Yeah, that's a reasonable point. I think for me, the thing that's making me apprehensive is the raptor thing. Everything else I can live with.
that'd be fine.
Everything else I can live
But
with.
in a
No.
film about people making dinosaurs,
Yeah.
like, are you really that bothered that somebody could train a dinosaur or a pack of dinosaurs? To
Yeah.
Why?
Personally,
Because
I'm not worried
The
about that.
best thing about Jurassic Park is the raptors. You don't
Yeah.
take the scariest thing about Jurassic Park is those raptors, and you don't fucking tame them.
But is
you
that
don't-
not old hat now though? That
No.
for what is it? 3 films they've made the raptors like pretty much the main bad guy in it.
Doesn't matter. New Terminator film, there'll be a bad Terminator in it. Like if you've got a great villain, they're a great villain for a number of films. Darth Vader, great villain across 3 films. It's fine because you can. That also, if you don't have the raptors in it for a while and then you introduce the raptors later on, you have that sense of, oh shit, they're in trouble now, which is what the first one did. They build the raptors up like, you know, they should all be destroyed, and talking about, you know, Grant saying, oh, you bred raptors, like, you build them up before you even see them. You hear them tearing apart this cow, and you just see the remnants of the fucking thing that they used to, you know, winch it in there.
Even
and you're
the
like, oh
opening
my
scene.
god.
Oh,
You
God,
see,
yeah.
and the, yeah, exactly, the eye in the opening scene and all of that.
Showtime!
And then when they finally are released and you see the thing, the gate, you know, the electric fence bit at the top has been destroyed. That's really scary because you think, oh fuck, this is bad. And now they've just been, you know, made a bit toothless. I think. Well,
As
idea
if they
you
have
can-
been made to the I don't think they're playing Chris Pratt.
You reckon they're
I
that
reckon,
intelligent?
I reckon that they're that intelligent. By the end of the film, it goes, "Thank you, Raptor friends, for saving us." No, Chris Pratt, thank you for dinner. And then, as Jamie said in the last one, then the Richard Attenborough T-Rex is going to come out and go, and then eat them all, and then the world's going to explode.
Wow. You should put a bet on whether that's actually going to happen.
I already have.
Have you?
No.
Just are you looking forward to Jurassic World? Yeah, see, this
I don't
thing,
know.
no one's really like, yes, I'm so excited about it.
I
I'm just a
am.
bit-
I've never been excited, like, apart from the first one when I saw it when I was really small.
Yeah.
My nan took me to it in the cinema. I don't know how she got me to it in the cinema.
It looks too shiny.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's too shiny.
Yeah,
Just like Darth Vader's
I
head.
don't know.
Well, again,
Just like
no
that weird
practical effects. You know,
Oh,
it's all rubbery.
Like when they're in that
Well,
weird
it-
glass pod thing, and it's
Well, the gyroscope.
I quite like the idea of the part being open. I think that's an original
But don't they get
concept.
eaten in that? Isn't there a scene where you see that pod
see
thing
it
that's been torn
broken.
apart and stuff?
Yeah, but they're kids. They won't get eaten.
Did anybody actually see the concept art of the original draft
Yeah.
that they wanted?
I like that.
Where they had
idea.
humans
Yeah.
merged with dinosaurs, and you saw this big.
Oh yes.
You saw
Yeah.
this Triceratops Rex that
Tri-
looked like
what?
the Rock.
What?
Titanosaurus Rex.
Triceratops.
Well, they're making new dinosaurs.
they were like centaurs. Or
Yeah, Triceratops. That's what I was meant to say. What did I say?
Titanosaurus Rex.
Triceratops.
Rex.
Because I broke it. Yeah. No, Triceratops are like the Rock's body. Like, that's basically what
See,
it was.
That's a film I'd watch. The Rock as a
They were
Triceratops.
like
well, always used
the
as scorpions.
they were like the battle saws in that little that Toy Story Land That Time
I
Forgot
didn't
thing.
see
They,
it.
they look like that.
Yeah.
They were, yeah, I'm kind of glad.
So I'm
Right.
glad they're not going with that. And the concept does seem pretty cool, where like people are getting really sort of bored with the fact that look, there's a nice dinosaur over there. Oh look, a T-Rex. Who cares anymore? And so they've got to create something different, which humans are like, because humans are stupid.
Yeah, that is. Yes, I mean, they've kind of revealed what the new dinosaur looks like. Ish. I think they haven't released like a big picture. This is what it looks like.
Giant claws and its legs, but that's about it.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they've done.
Well,
it just looks like a dinosaur, which I'm happy about. Like, you wouldn't want one that looked genetically engineered. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't want it looking like a Triceratops on the Rock's body. You would want it looking like a fucking scary dinosaur. But again, you kind of feel like, I hope that that's the big villain, and then like the T-Rex will show up and
then die like the
fuck
third
it
one.
up, because it'll be. Yeah, I hated that bit in the third one.
Yeah,
There's no way a Spinosaurus beats the T-Rex. Come on.
Third one is Pants. You count how many times that woman shouts her son's name. It's got to be over 70 times. That's the only thing she says. I can't even remember the guy's name.
No, she shouts it more times than Rambo has kills.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. If you did a name count, God, she doesn't shut up. That stupid woman.
Oh, we got
yeah, that's it.
That.
It is Alan.
Alan!
Alan! Yeah, I swear, it's Alan. Yeah, she doesn't fucking shut up.
And she doesn't die either.
Yeah,
worst film ever.
But one good thing about the third one, the raptors are still super intelligent and super scary.
Well, they've evolved, haven't they?
Yeah, but they've evolved in a
And feathers.
in a kind of progressive sense. Like, they've evolved naturally as you imagine animals would do, rather than some dickheads come along and tame them. But I don't know.
Chris Pratt, he's pretty charismatic. He could tame
Everything
me
is
any day.
awesome after all.
Everything is awesome. And some line from Guardians of the Galaxy.
I wish I was more excited about it. I mean, I'm obviously going to watch it, but I'm just more apprehensive. So, Star Wars, I know is going to be incredible.
Yeah.
The others, I will probably go and watch, but I
judge.
won't be surprised if all three of the others really turn out to be a bit crap. But that's just, I mean, I think that's probably just me. I think other people, particularly Batman and Superman, people are going to absolutely go nuts over that.
Tell you what, I was going to ask. I don't know if we talked about this on the last one.
Go on.
Because it got announced since we might have done the last podcast.
Yeah.
But the new Alien film.
Oh,
Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah.
Here he comes.
Super. Because I haven't seen Chappie. You have, and you weren't too impressed.
No, I haven't seen Chappie.
Oh, sorry,
We've
you
seen-
guys watched
yeah,
Chappie.
we've seen Chappie.
And you guys weren't too impressed.
I really enjoyed it. You
I
guys didn't, but I
like
enjoyed
certain
it.
parts of it. I don't like.
No, you liked it, Ollie.
No, I like Chappie. I don't like Yolanda and Ninja. I think they were badly cast. They're very.
Oh, what, Chappie as a character?
Chappie as a character is good. The film
Right.
is good. I liked what's his Wolverine? What's
Hugh
his name?
Jackman.
Hugh Jack. I like Hugh Jackman's character. Dev Patel was a
Oh,
waste of space.
yeah.
He could have been anyone,
Yeah.
literally anyone.
Even Rob Smart could have played him.
Yeah. In fact, I think it would have been an entertaining film. But mostly.
Thanks for your vote of confidence. I'll put it on my CV.
Could
As
have been.
Could be
recommended.
Dev Patel.
As recommended by Faija Brushta.
Chappie was alright. I mean, I was still jet lagged when I watched it, so I was sort of falling asleep.
Right.
So I sort of had a whole Jamie syndrome of
Yeah.
fell asleep for a bit, and then woke up and went, oh, that was crap.
Yeah. Yeah. Where you
So that's
miss
why,
half the film.
and then that's why you get a bad attitude towards the film.
Mm.
I'd watch it again. I think it's not as, it wasn't as powerful as Elysium or
Right.
District
Yeah.
9. It
No, I
just didn't have that oomph.
Yeah,
that
I didn't
the other
enjoy it as
films
much
had.
as Elysium and
District
District 9, but it kind of, yeah,
The action
it was what I
sequences
expected it to be.
As solid as the other two, because I mean, what I really love about his work in his first two films is that it's almost like video game action. That sense of like real satisfaction in someone being blown the shit up.
It has one moment like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's only
That's
one.
it.
There's such a
Everything
shame.
else is just basically Yolanda and Ninja telling him how to be a gangster, and it's just
I don't like that whole gangster
it's
vibe.
it's
I
fucking
didn't like that.
atrocious if I'm honest.
Interesting. It's really interesting.
The whole gangster
I think
vibe on a robot, I just didn't like it.
Mm.
With the whole, the rest of Chappie's quite cool.
But it's
the character.
quite endearing at the same time. You
No,
see,
yeah.
and it says a lot about like the human psyche as well.
Yeah.
So that's quite nice. So if you look into it a bit more deeply than you probably should, then it's actually a quite nice film. But if you just take it for a sort of action film, which
They're
I
about
guess it was
films.
sold as, then it is. There are parts of it you think, like, you know, could have been way better.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, Shalata Copley's performance is fantastic as Chappie.
He's always great.
Yeah, no,
He's always really good. Do you reckon he'll somehow work him into Alien?
Yeah, of
Oh,
course.
I hope so.
I bet he'll be like the
Hicks.
Hicks. Yeah, he'll be some kind of manic character in it.
Oh, game over, man.
I reckon it'll be like one of those crazy guys in Alien 3. You know the
Oh,
copper guys
prisoners.
run around.
Yeah,
no,
he's
it's
gonna-
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
I think.
Get this fucking thing out of my chest! Fuck!
He'll either be a marine or I reckon he'll be a really good like douchebaggy brown-nosing like corporate guy.
So
Yeah.
with the stuff that was, because it was announced after he released some of the concept art which he'd been working
Yeah,
on
I
before.
think that was totally on purpose.
Yeah, I totally
Yeah.
agree with you. Do you think he's going to stick with that? Because there's a whole
Yeah.
thing with how is Ripley in it again?
I think, isn't it like it's taken, they've re-stepped back so they miss out 3 and 4,
Which is
and
a
it
shame,
goes
I
back
like
to
that.
the end of 2 where Hicks, what's his name?
Michael Bean.
Yes.
Carl Reed. No.
No,
Hicks.
The guy who plays Kyle
Yeah,
Reese.
Hicks, yeah.
Hicks, that's
He's in the, like they all get away in the shuttle, don't they?
Yeah,
at the end
he's
and stuff.
alive basically.
Yeah, so basically he's alive, but he's really fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all burnt from the front, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the concept
Yeah.
art is him. Yeah, all
And there's
burnt.
all that stuff of Ripley in the biomech suit as well.
Yeah, she's got like that weird mask thing
Yeah.
going
It's the
on.
xenomorph like
Yeah.
suit she's
But I
wearing.
think the concept arts, they've got the ship, haven't they? Yeah, because she's in a jockey suit, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah,
Space
that's
jockey
it.
suit.
Yeah, sorry.
And they've got the ship in a hangar of another ship or something.
Cool.
They've got the ship that they find the eggs on originally,
That's interesting.
and she's wearing.
Do you know, I don't know how much of that would work in with having Hicks and her back in it. They don't have Newt.
No, I reckon she'll be in it.
I reckon they'd have Newt in it,
But
but
they
it'll
might be
just not be
older.
the same girl though,
Okay.
unless
Like a
she
malfunction.
dies in it. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Unless I mean, I really like Alien 3. I think it's a really brave
I
move
do,
to
no,
kill them
yeah.
off at the start
Yeah.
and go with something totally different.
Mm.
Honestly, because it may be that Alien 3 was the first Alien film I watched, but I've got a real soft spot for that
I
film.
love
It's
Alien 3.
grimy and nasty as fuck.
It's terrifying.
It's really scary.
Yeah,
really
it is,
scary.
Yeah,
It's a great film.
yeah.
And then Resurrection is like mental. Completely.
I like
mental. But
Resurrection,
I have
though.
but I quite enjoy that as well.
Yeah. Joss Whedon as well, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Like
just
space
a very,
pirates.
yeah,
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah,
peculiar
I like it.
film, but should at least be interesting with his style, particularly his style of action. I think
Mm. Yeah,
could bring
Just
some
fit
really,
it perfectly.
some really good stuff to it.
Another forgettable character in Chappie is Sigourney Weaver as well.
Oh,
So
God,
he
yeah.
blatantly
Oh,
got
yeah, I
her.
forgot she's in it.
He blatantly got her on board just to like,
Yeah.
I want to do an alien film. You know, and
In a really creepy way.
would you like a sweet?
I can also be in my film.
Would you
like a chappy?
Do you want to see my Chappie?
Oh.
Yeah,
Well, that's a terrifying
Nice one,
note
Jimmy.
to end that section. Okay, so our final section, we'll see how it goes, is focusing on, well, Jamie, why don't you start us off?
Focusing on me.
Yeah, we're focusing on you, Jamie. You were talking to us about a word,
Oh, okay.
a particular word that none of us knew what it meant.
Well, moving on from Neil Blomkamp, because we were talking about him,
Mhm.
he's producing a new film called The Leviathan.
The what? No, come on, say it out loud.
The Leviathan.
Uh huh.
How do you spell Levy?
Not Leviathan.
No, this, it might be a different one. Yeah,
Definitely Leviathan.
Definitely not
definitely
Leviathan.
not. No,
Definitely not. Okay.
no. Yeah, The Leviathan. Anyway, it's
Stop saying it.
Stop it. Dyslexic. I
Let
swear.
it go.
Go on.
Yeah, there's a production video where they're kind of getting it. It was shown to Neil Blomkamp to get production behind it.
Right.
It's an all CG thing, and there's basically these big creatures called the Leviathans, and they've got to go hunt them. And yeah, play that one, Chris, the first one.
What,
No,
like
the
Monster
first
Hunter?
one. That one. Yeah.
The 3-minute one.
So I'm putting it up.
And
on
yeah, it looks
YouTube
absolutely
right now.
looks
Okay.
absolutely beautiful.
What's the is it like Monster Hunter?
Yeah, they've got to hunt
Like-
these big things because it explains it here. So by the early 22nd century, mankind has colonised many worlds. Faster than light travel. I can't even see that.
It's made possible.
By harvesting exotic matter from the eggs of the largest species mankind has ever seen.
The Leviathans.
These that take part in the hunt are mostly
involuntary something.
Labour.
So it sounds very much like Monster Hunter.
It's
Have any
like
of you ever
Troll
played
Hunter.
Monster Hunter?
Yeah.
Fight Club.
Monster
Screenwriter
Hunter.
of Fight Club.
Well, in Monster Hunter, you just
No,
go
you-
out and fight some monsters and get steal their eggs. So in this, the concept is humanity gets their fuel from eggs.
Leviathans.
From Leviathan
Look
eggs.
how beautiful it looks.
Is it a film?
Well,
It's
it
a
Is
will
it a
be.
film.
show? Is it a...
It will be. This is basically just to get funding for it.
Oh, so this is more
It's
like,
like a
concept.
Kickstarter. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like a
I
Kickstarter.
see. Right, okay.
Is there sound to this?
So far,
Yeah,
the aesthetic of it looks quite nice. Looks quite
It
sort
does
of...
look very Bloomcamp.
Looks kind of like, yeah, like his sort of dingy sci-fi aesthetic.
Lived in sci-fi.
Sounds like a bit of a stupid setup then. Does anyone else not think that...
I don't
Hell
know.
no! Wait till you
What?
see it.
Well, like the idea of people going out fighting giant things is fair enough, but because we need fuel from their eggs...
Sounds like Lost Planet to me.
Yeah, it does sound like
Yeah, exactly. It sounds like a stupid video game plot, really.
To be honest, if
But
this was a video game, I'd play it.
But these guys, the guys who are sent out to capture these leviathans,
The Leviathan Hunters.
yeah, they're made to do it against their will.
So they're slaves,
So
basically.
they're slaves. Like
So they're slave
perhaps they're
whale
convicts or
hunters.
something, and they
Pretty
have
much.
to.
Look out! It's a what is it, Jamie?
Leviathan.
Oh, it looks like a giant worm.
Yeah,
This is
a
no
Looking at
cave.
the moment, anyway. Chasing a pterodactyl,
Let's shoot it.
and then they shoot it a lot. But look, it's got wings. Oh, it's quite a cool looking creature design, to be honest. So, once they got Blomkamp on board, then did they get funding? That you know
Yeah,
of,
it's
or-
going to be made now.
So they are actually making this.
I think
as
so.
in- Oh, so it's like a giant flying
Whale.
space whale.
It's a Nidhogg.
A Nidhogg, yeah. It does look very much like a Nidhogg. And there's a big ship shooting some cool electric. Special effects look very nice.
I think it looks really good.
Yeah, cool concept. Looks a little bit. It's probably just because it's a giant.
It's almost like
giant
Shadow of
thing.
the Colossus kind of stuff.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. The idea of a small thing taking on a massive thing. It's a little bit Pacific Rim as well. Giant thing, humans getting involved with these things. There was a trailer for the live action.
I don't feel like this.
What do you call it? Attack on Titan. Did anyone see that? You know the anime.
Oh,
Attack
yeah,
on
no, I
Titan?
haven't seen it. but I
That's
heard
another
it's-
Joss Whedon thing.
What? Attack on Titan.
No, not. I'm thinking of Titan A.
Titan AE.
Fucking hell.
Oh man,
Oh.
imagine if they did another Titan AE. I would be well up for that.
Yeah.
Love that movie. So good. So the giant space worms just destroyed a big
Space
space
whale.
thing. Space whale, fine. It's got a very big face.
Leviathans aren't so easy.
Very
Celebrate
cool
true
creature
raw.
design. It is a very, very cool
It's a
creature
beautiful video.
design.
Leviathan.
The
Leviathan.
Leviathan.
So what's it called?
Leviathan.
Leviathan.
Have you never heard the word Leviathan
No,
before?
what does that mean?
It
learn
means
in books.
enormous thing.
Oh right.
A Leviathan
Leviathan
is
then?
like a.
It's a made up
No
word.
such thing.
Well, yeah, a Leviathan
Bible
is like
looks
a
good.
is like a colossus or
A Titan.
a titan. Yeah, something that just
Oh,
means
okay.
something
Massive.
particularly enormous. Like,
I thought that was quite interesting.
yeah, it's
It does
very
look very
interesting.
cool.
I mean, he's an interesting director. I think he
Better turn
his
that
phone
on.
keeps going off. Yeah, he's an interesting guy. I feel a little bit bad for him because his previous two films weren't very well received.
No.
By you.
Not by me. I really liked Elysium.
Everyone likes
Oh, right.
Elysium.
Okay,
I
that's
thought you
Elysium.
didn't.
No, it's everyone else in the
Oh,
world.
okay.
Okay.
Honestly, like people on the internet hated it, and
We're the minority.
the critical reception of it wasn't great, really, was it? So
They feel like good 80s movies. They feel like
Blomkamp's movies.
Yeah, well, that's what he's aping, isn't he? Essentially.
yeah,
It's his aesthetics.
he recreates them.
Yeah. What are you guys thinking about Ghostbusters?
What, the new one?
Yeah, the one with the
All
the
female
the
cast.
female cast.
I'm
one.
looking forward to it.
So this is
I
a
had
this
no
is a
idea
weird
there was
thing that they decided to do an all male one, like within a month of say
So there's only
announcing
two
that
of
they were
them,
doing
essentially.
a completely female one.
Mm.
Which I'm totally on board for the completely female one because the cast of it sounds great, but the male one and why they decided to do a male one just kind of afterwards, as if like because there was a lot of fan reaction to the
That's the
female
reason why
one,
they've
like
done
being
it,
like,
isn't
"You
it?"
ruined our dreams. But
Was there a lot of people whinging
yeah,
about it?
on Twitter there was there was a
Oh,
lot of people
God.
whinging about it.
That's
The
the reason why
internet
there's
does.
the new one.
Yeah,
wait,
so
who's-
why they decide to do an all male one, which is great, but why wouldn't they
I think they don't kind of put it out there that it's like a second idea, like they've just decided to do it afterwards. And they kind of just almost kind of just said, "This is what we're doing." They haven't just said, "Oh, we've decided to do this now." I don't know.
Have you guys seen the leaked Sony email stuff that's been coming out very steadily recently? One of the ones that caught my attention was they were talking about Uncharted, the film version of the game, and the prospective casting for it. They were desperate for Mark Wahlberg to play Drake, which sounds awful.
I don't know, Mark Wahlberg can be quite good.
But the latest thing was.
Sorry, Jamie's face then was amazing.
If looks could kill.
If looks could turn all these words to sludge, that was.
Did he play Max Payne as well?
Yeah, that was awful. That film.
But he was good.
I'm sorry, I hate being such a dick about films being rubbish, but that film was utter dog shit. It was.
It takes a lot for Chris to not like a movie. Like it has to be pretty bad.
Have you seen it?
No, have you seen the Hitman film?
Yeah.
There's a new one as well.
Oh, that looks terrible.
Paul Walker was going to be the Hitman.
Oh really?
I believe so. Yeah, I heard that ages
and
ago.
You're crazy in love with Paul Walker because you pretty much want to be him. Don't you?
No, you Tom Hardy.
Yeah, no, I am.
I recently watched all of the Fast and Furious films in a row and could only think that Jamie just wanted to desperately be Paul Walker.
I did like him.
Handy from Tokyo Drift.
What, the Forrest Gump type character? I'm here driving cars.
Well, the latest casting thing for Uncharted was for Elena, who's the kind of spunky blonde camera woman love interest. They wanted Emma Stone, and the line that the Sony executive had put in the email just said, "For Elena, Emma Stone, short hair, done deal." And I totally agree with that. She would be absolutely brilliant. And then they also were talking about Chris Hemsworth as Drake, which again, he's maybe a little bit too.
I think it's just because you want Nathan Fillion to be Drake.
Well, I think he would almost be too right for it, like because everyone knows him as Mal Reynolds. He would maybe struggle having that sense that Drake needs. But the other really interesting thing that came out of the emails was the Men in Black thing. Anyone else hear about that?
No.
They had serious emails with Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the directors and writers of the Lego Movie and 21 Jump Street, about a Men in Black 21 Jump Street crossover. So have you seen 22 Jump Street?
I haven't seen it yet.
22 Jump Street at the end.
It's brilliant.
It is amazing.
21 Jump Street. Oh, 22.
22. At the end of 22 Jump Street, they have... What is it they've got?
They have like just like different versions of like 23 Jump Street, 24 Jump Street, 25, and it's got them like at nail painting school, and like sewing school, and doctor's school, and spy school,
and Vickers,
and like parking attendance school, and all sorts of stuff.
And it went through a whole thing about like sequels like the Fast and the Furious movies and stuff, how the original cast ended up not being in it for a while and they might come back after contract negotiations, and they really kind of took that idea. And the Jump Street movies are quite ridiculous, but I don't think they're quite Men in Black level ridiculous, but they seemed like well up for it. Did you guys think
literally
that
a
was an
crossover, or was it kind of like a Kingsman where they get these two, like they just find an ordinary guy again and like these street
I guess I think it. I don't know anything at all about a perspective plot. It was literally Sony executives went to Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who said, "Actually, we really like that idea. We really think it could work." Do you think it could work?
Yeah.
No. Not seeing the.
Well, no. Well, yes. Chris, why do you think it would work?
Because like Men in Black is just
crazy anyway.
Crazy, yeah, and I don't know. I don't know why my gut reaction is just to say yes, but like I think
I guess
I'm like I just said yes. And everyone's like, why did you say yes? I don't know, but it seems like if somebody said these characters are jumping over into this film, they seem like the kind of characters who could go into it quite
maybe
easily.
I'm thinking too seriously about it when it's not a serious thing at all. Like those films are so.
They're both quite zany, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're a bit
like,
ridiculous.
21 Jump Street's brilliant. I saw 22 and I really liked it, but it's I didn't think it was as good.
Yeah, I have a similar thing. My favourite bit is the ending with those clever posters
and when they're tripping as well.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
titties.
Titties, ass, titties. Well, did you watch it? I watched it last week.
I did.
So fun.
I saw it a couple of weeks ago.
Did you prefer it to the first one?
No, the first one's better.
Yeah, I think
But the
first
second one
one's
has got some
genuinely-
funny things in it.
Yeah, I think it's a good sequel.
Ass,
But I think, oh god, this is going to go the rest of the thing, isn't it? But I think the first one is genuinely a really interesting movie.
Hi, my name is Jeff.
They've done really well with that. And the name of Jeff bit has just become... It's still funny.
I haven't even
It's
seen
one of
the
those
film, so I
memes
still
which
bloody
is
know
endless,
it.
but
Yeah.
it's still funny the way he does it, which is great. But I wanted to come back to something that we mentioned earlier about when we were talking about Star Wars, about the other Star Wars trailer. The one that came out yesterday on Friday for a Star Wars thing in perhaps a different medium, something that a surprisingly large amount of people were super excited for, and that's Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I thought I was alone in
No.
loving Star Wars Battlefront.
What?
It's
But
Star
since
Wars.
I've got none of my friends really liked it at school.
Really?
No one really talks
I absolutely
about it.
loved it. I just sold my 360 and I had the original Xbox version of Battlefront 2 and I used to play that all the time. And I've just sold my 360 and I begrudgingly gave it away with the console. I was just like, I don't really want to give it up, but I've got no way to play it anymore.
Just like put it on the mantelpiece, go back.
I did check today on my PlayStation 4 to see. On my PS3 to see whether it was one of the PS2 games that they'd released on PSN that you could, because you can play like San Andreas and stuff. I was devastated that it's not. They've only got the PSP versions, and having played the PSP versions, the controls don't work because there's only one stick, so you can't control the camera. But yeah, I mean, I played those games endlessly, just absolutely endlessly in split screen with my friend Michael. I just played that. So I mean, what did you guys think of the trailer? Has everyone seen the trailer for the next gen one? I mean, it's not gameplay, unfortunately, is it?
It's in game, isn't it? It says in-game engine.
Yeah, which is. I feel like it's a little bit.
It looks mental.
It does look good.
Mental in a good way.
Yeah, mental in a good way. Yeah. Just Battlefield for Star Wars.
Yeah, because you guys are big Battlefield fans,
Yep.
aren't you? And you know, played a lot of that, whereas I didn't, and I think that's maybe why.
So I think this might be a problem you have because you don't really like to play online games, do you?
But he will now.
But you'll have to if he wants to play this because there's no single player.
Well, so this is the thing. I was talking to Chris about this before. They come out like the internet, as it does, has responded poorly to something that the developers have said, which is that there's no campaign. But actually, looking at what he said, is that there's no campaign, but there are. It's a series of non-interconnected missions which you can play single player, or you can play split screen, multiplayer, or online multiplayer.
There was no
That sounds
campaign
perfect.
in Battlefront 2 though. There was just
or Battlefront 1.
There was
really?
it was just connected planets, and it was just like you were just supposed to take over the planets, and you could do it in
Like
any
the
order you
conquest
wanted.
thing.
Which I'm fine with. Like once I kind of looked at what he'd actually said, no campaign means you're not playing through a story mode. That's fine. I could deal with that as long as I can fucking play that game on my own without being bothered by teenagers online every time I just fancy playing a
Just
game of
bothered by us.
Battlefront. And then obviously on an evening or a weekend or whatever, I can play it with you guys when everyone's on. But if I fancy playing it at a different time on my own, it's just it was such a great thing to just go into. It was just a great thing to just load up and spend 10 minutes playing a game of Battlefront. It was so satisfying.
We heard that basically because of the EA access system on the Xbox players will get it first.
Yes, I did hear that Xbox players get it first.
Hey!
I think it's like a marginal week or something like that.
Yeah, it is. I think it's like
It comes out on the 17th of December, I believe.
Chris, you said that you were going to get it on both consoles because Chris, you're now the proud owner of an Xbox One, sat there looking at us like a giant VCR.
No, it's a Laserdisc player.
How are you finding it, Chris?
I love it. Yeah, I love it. Well,
He's staring lovingly at it as he says
I
it.
do love it. No, I mainly got it because I wanted to play games with my brother again. My brother's only got Xbox One.
Right.
And I got
Is
it
that-
mega
sorry.
cheap as well.
Is there a reason why your brother got an Xbox One over a PS4?
He just likes
Like
it.
originally?
He just likes it. I think he got it from pre-order.
Right.
And yeah, he's just always been an Xbox fan. He uses Kinect a lot as well, so he's just quite sold on that. So
that's interesting. I don't think I've ever actually met anyone sold on Kinect.
Brother's always been sold on Kinect, but especially the new one. And I've used it as well, and I think it's great. If I could get it for mine without spending too much money, which I already have, but
because you bought yours.
I bought mine in the most dodgy way possible. I bought it off eBay, but I bought the console only. Like, so it was just the box on its own, and then I bought all the cables and everything separately, and it worked out like about £100 cheaper.
That's cool.
Than buying it brand new or second hand anywhere else. So. And the console, from what I could see, in its potentially dodgy state, was brand spanking new.
There's like blood on it.
Bit of blood on the corner.
Got shot residue.
Yeah,
he was in the room at a murder scene.
It
got auctioned off.
It was weird. The guy I bought it off, like, took me into his home, and he said, and he showed me it, and it was in a proper package. It didn't come in an official Xbox box, but it came in this like really nicely
an evidence
kind
bag.
of package. Like, don't mind that blood.
I will sell it to you. Just do not worry about the powder that comes out the bag.
But the guy was really nice, and he seemed genuine. And he said on the eBay thing, my company did work for Microsoft, so we got all these free consoles. But it's weird that they just got the consoles. So
it might have been a demo Xbox or something.
Yeah, but he didn't say what work they did for them or anything like that.
Just ignore the clump of hair.
Yeah, so I had that moment of panic when my cable arrived, and I was like, right, this could potentially have cost me £150 for nothing. So like, yeah, I got find it out. But I love it though, and I've got to say, I love going back to the old controller as well. Like the old controller.
I've held it and seen it. It just seems odd. Like what the thing I've always liked about the PlayStation controllers is the sticks. I like the fact that it seems to have the thing, and I think it's because you were used to the Xbox One. Because the Xbox One always seemed like a slab of a thing to me, and that's even more like a slab.
I mean, if you'd all got Xboxes, I would have got an Xbox. I just got a PlayStation because
I got a PlayStation first because everyone else had got it. And then
I got it for Bloodborne.
I don't know. I played my brother's quite a few times, and I really liked it. And yeah, so I'm glad I have got it.
Are you getting the feedback in the triggers that it has in the controller? Apparently, it has the rumble kind of goes through the triggers at different.
I've not noticed, to be honest. I think it does. Yeah. But I've not noticed. It's not like a big thing I've picked up on. Like whoa. Yeah, like the only thing I picked up on PS4 controller was that the noise comes out of it. Yeah. That's like a nice novelty.
It's kind of nice.
Yeah,
the map has been updated.
Yeah. Or like the Shadow of Mordor, or
GTA.
That.
Yeah. And like
so cool.
Alien Isolation, the beeper thing comes up.
Yeah, I think that it makes you go. Oh.
Yeah.
I like in GTA 4 as well.
And the phone comes through that. Yeah.
That's really clever.
Yeah.
Really
and the radio signals from the police come up on it as well.
I really want to get GTA 5.
Oh yeah, you haven't got it yet.
And play the new heists. I just want it for multiplayer. I don't want to play the story.
We've got it and we've played it, but we haven't played it for a while. Have we, Chris?
I want to get it and play.
See, I've played it a lot more than you have.
Yeah, I've just never been massively into it.
The heist though can be a bit of a pain because you have to have.
You have to talk to each other. And you have to
you have to have that as well because if somebody fails on it, you're fucked. But I'm super sold on my Xbox One, and like I don't know, so I'm definitely going to get Battlefront.
You're going to get Battlefront on both that and
I think
PS4?
I'm going to have to, yeah. Because I play with my brother a lot. To be honest, at the moment, I play with my
£100 because that's what it will cost you. Because new games are 50
I thought about this. I was like, well, then almost like 60 quid sometimes. Yeah, I know, right? So, to be honest, with Battlefront, I think I'll probably get more than my money's worth out of paying that amount of money for it. Because I'll probably have it. It'll be one of those games I have always.
Yeah, I dread to think how many hours I put into dicking around on Star Wars Battlefront. I mean, in the trailer and the stuff that they've said, it's first person and third person. You have like a partner that you can spawn onto, so if you're co-oping through a lot of it. I was really happy with them saying, and you can just do it all in split screen as well. Because, you know, we live in the same building, Chris, and so we could just go in each other's houses and play some Battlefront, and that makes me feel like I'm 15 again. That is awesome. That is such a good idea. But it's... Yeah, I think it's going to be brilliant. And obviously they show Vader in the trailer. Did you guys...
And Boba Fett.
Yeah, and Boba Fett as well. Now, from what they said, it's you fulfill certain conditions and then you can spawn as them. That's exactly the same as in Battlefront 2.
Well, they're not going to change the formula, are
But did you ever actually enjoy playing as the Jedi?
Yeah. Like, say, in Bespin Cloud City, for the second one, there was loads of ledges you can jump up on and stuff, and say, if you're the troopers with the jetpacks and stuff, you could get up to certain bits, but as a Jedi, you could just run up and take shortcuts across the map.
Oh, could you?
Yeah.
That's really clever, because I would always, it would be like, you can spawn as Vader now. Yes! Spawn as Vader. And you can't deflect the shots too well with your lightsaber.
Yeah.
So I just died straight away. I'd be like, fuck it. Standard Stormtrooper again, let's do this. But, man, I'm so ridiculously excited for that game. When is it? November?
November.
November. That's going to be amazing. Absolutely amazing. Right, so that brings an end to Star Wars Battlefront section.
Mos Eisley Spaceborne. It's a fucking shithole. Fucking shithole.
Okay, so that's us done for another week or another fortnight or however long it's going to be until we actually manage to get together to do one. Hopefully it won't be as long a sabbatical as between this one and the previous one. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and we will see you again soon. Follow us on Twitter, like us on Facebook, listen to the podcasts. That's the main thing. Hopefully this one will be the first one on iTunes, and so you should be able to subscribe, leave reviews. Even if they're shit reviews, at least there'll be some
really
reviews.
horrible things, please.
No,
write
please
some
don't.
really shit things. Then,
that guy, Jamie, Leviathan or whatever it was.
Leviathan. No,
the stupid one.
Which one's the stupid one? Rob.
So, it's goodbye from me, Smaro Vibri. It's goodbye from Thul Elon.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Wilch to live.
Bye-bye. That's a completely different voice.
It's goodbye from Phaedra Brister.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from Vitu Savat.
May the force be with you.
Always.
Goodbye.
Chewie, we're home.
Guy Kylo Ren is more him being obsessed with.
Perhaps he's been brainwashed via Twitter, like these people that go to Syria. He's got
Star
a
Wars
one-way
Twitter.
ticket to
Tatooine.
Jakku.
Jesus Christ.